Today it's time to give 7 more second stage starters a paradox form. I've done a bit of research on how Pokemon draws these guys, so in my opinion, these are my best designs so far. Our first evolution will be for Furious Gecko. I quickly want to mention that I used the tracing method again, in order to stay close to the original designs. For this piece I wanted to go into a Velociraptor kind of look. I wanted to do so because I felt like our first drawing showed quite a few dinosaur traits. This is why I decided to give him claws, teeth and a purple tongue again. We also made his leaves a bit spikier, which fits the past paradox theme perfectly. Now I did still want to portray his grass typing, but he is going to be a dragon poison type for his final evolution. This is why I shortened the leaves, which gives us room to make them look like leafy spikes on Sceptile. It took me a while to find the perfect shape for his tail, but I do think it's a great detail and it definitely fits the dinosaur look we're going for. For the colors I went with a darker variant of green and made the red way brighter. I did this because poisonous animals usually have very bright colors to warn off predators that they aren't food. Bright colors can also be used for intimidation, which this Pokemon is not afraid to use. I do quickly want to say that this Pokemon is rather venomous than poisonous, but the theory behind it still affected my color choice. Raptor, the Paradox Pokemon. This Pokemon can be found deep in jungles. It uses its sharp claws to climb up trees and hides there until it can leap out onto unsuspecting prey. Its tongue is said to be coated in a special toxin, and one swift lick can leave the prey completely immobilized. This Pokemon is so awesome. Furious Gecko was actually one of my favorite designs out of the first batch, and I think Raptor is a perfect evolution for him. The second evolution will be for Iron Monkey. I got a lot of feedback on my future forms. A lot of you didn't want me to detach limbs, but in my last video a lot of you actually missed them as well. This made me realize that you don't always have to detach limbs on these designs, but if you do it properly, the designs will actually benefit from it. I also started working with reference of the real Paradox Pokemon, which gave me a lot more insights on future forms. A few of these tiny details are the segmented tail, toes and fingers. I also noticed that they have wiggly round parts on their body, and I think that is supposed to portray a rubbery texture. With all of these elements combined, I think we've made another perfect future form. For the colors I referenced Iron Monkey, because I just want to keep the evolution line aesthetic the same. Iron Knuckles, the Paradox Pokemon. After evolution, this Pokemon gains a huge boost in its fighting skills and starts to train on everything it sees. This makes them extremely dangerous because their intentions are not to help, but to harm others. It does appear to lose some of its fighting spirit once it has reached a certain level of skills. At first I wanted to name this guy Iron Fist, but that name is so good that I wanted to keep that for Infernape's form. I know a lot of you guys still don't like these shinies, but come on, a robotic monkey, that's awesome. For our next evolution we're going to take care of Smashing Shell. This evolution line will probably turn out to be the most unique one out of them all. I know it doesn't necessarily follow the paradox rules, but in my opinion these colors make them look way better. We of course already had a good concept to follow, but I did still want this design to feel like Wartortle. I tried to accomplish this by making the spikes on its head emulate the wings he usually has. Someone in my chat suggested that we'd also make his shell a bit more spiky, and that made the design so much better. I did struggle a bit on its tail again, because it's just such a weird shape, and I'm still not the best at drawing shapes in a 3D atmosphere. Like I said, for the colors, we didn't change much from the first form. I do have a good feeling that this evolution line will look absolutely bonkers once we're finished. Hardened Tootle, the Paradox Pokemon. Its armor became much harder due to its evolution. It lost a battle against other Pokemon of the same species. Sometimes parts of their armor break, but it appears that they can easily fix them with the help of some fresh mud. I think this design looks amazing. It might give off a little bit of flying type energy, but so did Wartortle, and he wasn't one either. Our fourth evolution will be for Iron Shell. I'm still not that happy how our future form of Oshawott turned out. This is why I had to change some things up in order to make this evolution actually into something that looks cool. I tried to achieve this by switching up which parts would be the lighted area. I also converted his arms into robotic ones, so he would instantly look more like a robot, unlike his first form. This wasn't enough though. Our current design didn't feel like it would fit the ice typing at all, so I came up with the idea to give him an actual sword. I knew I could do this because Iron Valiant does the exact same thing. I'm actually very happy we decided to do this, because this gave the design the extra thing it needed to be complete. For the colors I kept most of them the same. I did play around with making the shells lighted up as well, but the design would have lost a very important accent color, so we moved away from that idea. Iron Edge, the Paradox Pokemon. This Pokemon seems to be so strict with itself. It sets up a training schedule where it even schedules the time it spends on standby mode. It practices with its ice cool swords daily, and even though it's a robotic Pokemon, it seems to greatly respect the warrior spirit and aspires to become a master of the sword itself. I am so happy with this upgrade. It really shows how much I've grown since the start of this challenge, and it makes me so hyped that I'm getting better. Last video I asked you for 5,000 subscribers, so yeah, the 24-hour stream is coming. Our next sub goal is 7,500 subscribers, and if you guys manage to hit that before the end of the 21st of May, I will make a tutorial on how I draw these Pokemon. Well, good luck. For the 5th evolution we're going to take care of Flaming Fangs. I still really love the design I made for Litten, so I actually felt confident to make this into a banger as well. For the first stage we added quite a few details, which made him look a lot hairier. I wanted to continue this trend because that really sells the feral look we're going for. I do want to mention that we made the first stage into a fire steel type, but I didn't want to go into the steel direction, so we changed him into a fire ground type. This also resulted in a replacement of his long claws, which we changed into big fire claws. I think that is way more epic, but we did still keep his long fangs. I just wanted to keep this option open to maybe transform Incineroar into a saber-tooth-like cat. I already got a bunch of requests to keep him quadrupedal, so I will definitely have to look into that for the evolution. For the colors we just referenced the first stage, and we made them just a slightly bit darker. I think the shiny for this piece looks awesome as well, because we swapped the orange flames for blue ones. Burning Claws, the Paradox Pokemon. Upon evolving, this Pokemon splits off from the group of Flaming Fangs to live on their own. The condensed energy around its claws makes it extremely efficient at climbing and digging. It's estimated that it would even be able to dig through the frozen dirt in the tundra if it wanted to. When this Pokemon finds its food, it prefers to take it up to higher places and buries it so others can't get to it. I am so happy with this piece. It's probably one of the best ones we've made so far, and I would 100% get this thing on my team. I really love the colors for its shiny too. Man, I am proud of myself on this one. Our 6th evolution will be for Iron Scythe. I definitely wanted to keep the same aesthetic the first form had. I achieved this by making its neck into blades instead of sides. I then decided to make the leaves on its tail float in order to give the rest of the design a little bit of space. Since this Pokemon is based upon a snake, I thought it would have been a cool idea to segment his entire body. I think it looks awesome, and it's definitely something I picked up by looking at the reference. It's so cool to see that we're still improving with each episode. I didn't change any of the colors either, but I did decide to add the lighted areas into the leaves on its tail as well. I thought the design would benefit from a bit more color in it. I think the end result looks amazing, and so does his shiny. Iron Blade, the Paradox Pokemon. This mysterious machine believes it's superior to all other Pokemon and humans. It tries to command them, and it throws tantrums when they deny its commands. Only the best trainers are capable to use Iron Blade, as it's thought to be impossible to train. I must admit that this color scheme makes him look a little bit like corn, but a beautiful looking piece of corn then. I am very curious to see what we'll do with his evolution, because this line is sick so far. The final evolution for today is for Venomous Needle. This design went by pretty quickly, because we had quite an easy concept to work with. I did think about changing it up a bit, by giving him a rocket launcher as tail, but that would have been more fitting for a future form, so we just turned the spikes on his head to ears and we gave him a scorpion-like tail. The rest of the changes were mostly me trying to use the changes we made for Chespin, like the piece of fur in the middle of its body and the poisonous teeth. We also tweaked the green parts again to emulate the armored look we had for the first stage. The goal for this Pokemon was to make him feel stronger and a lot more defensive. I think we managed to do so, because that tail definitely looks like it can withstand a lot more shots to it. At first I wasn't really sure about this design, but I had the exact same feeling for Venomous Needle. This feeling disappeared for both of these drawings when I put in the shading, because it looks sick now. Barbaric Thorn, the Paradox Pokemon. This Pokemon seems to be a predator of an ancient world. It's able to shoot thorns covered in a unique toxin that will paralyze its target, which it would then drag away into its burrow before tearing it apart with its sharp fangs and claws. One dart is said to be enough to fully paralyze a full-grown Salamence. Quilladin is still one of my least favorite starters out of them all, but this design made me dislike him quite a bit less. But quite a bit less will probably still keep him at the bottom tier. Well, these designs took me quite a while to make, but I am very happy with how they turned out. Let me know which one was your favorite, and goodbye.